The National Defense Authorization Act is hideous. What it does is it allows the military to act inside the United States, which is, it's not just unconstitutional, it goes against the foundation of Western government, okay? Second of all, it says there can be indefinite detentions without trials. And then on top of that, if all of that weren't bad enough, U.S. citizens could also be considered terrorist suspects. That means anyone inside the U.S. can be detained by the military, not cops, by the military, and said, hey, you know what? We suspect you of terrorism. We will hold one quick military hearing. You will not get a trial. And sad day for you, we can keep you forever. It is as un-American a law as I have ever seen. And of course, there is huge bipartisan support for it. Now, don't get me wrong, not among the country. The country hates it. The Tea Party hates it, the right wing hate it, the left wing hate it. In fact, Senator Marco Rubio, who used to be a Tea Party favorite in Florida, is getting called out by conservatives in his state as a traitor for being in favor of this bill. John McCain got booed in Arizona. In Utah, Occupy protesters are wearing black hoods to protest this. So the Occupy and the Tea Party guys all agree, the right wing and the left wing of actual voters, actual citizens agree, we don't want the government to have the power to be able to arbitrarily detain us forever without a trial. It's the most un-American, most unconstitutional thing you could do. So obviously, since both sides agree, it must have lost in the Senate, right? Yeah, it won 93-7. Now, when you ask Carl Levin, hey, wait a minute, it seems like you could have U.S. citizens detained here, not just terrorist suspects that you found in the U.S. that aren't citizens but are from abroad. Well, he says, there is not a requirement that we arrest U.S. citizens. Wow, are you not merciful? There's no requirement to arrest them, right? But can you arrest them? Yeah, of course. In fact, Levin says, quote, there is no bar to this nation's holding one of its own citizens as an enemy combatant. Saying, yeah, you got it right. We can arrest you as an enemy combatant and hold you forever without a trial. How you like them apples? Well, I hate those apples. In fact, Carl Levin's supposed to be a Democrat from Michigan. He's good on other issues. He's the guy who came up with this with John McCain at his side. It's a disaster. In fact, Senator Jeff Merkley, one of the few good guys on this, Democrat from Oregon, came out and said, wait a minute. Now look at what happened in the Madrid bombings. We thought that there was a lawyer from Oregon who had participated in that. We had screwed up the fingerprints. We arrested the guy. If we had not had a process, because he was a U.S. citizen, of giving him a real trial, well, we might not have ever figured out that he was the wrong guy. Later, the FBI admitted, oopsie doopsie, wrong guy, we screwed up the fingerprints. They even paid him $2 million because of the damage that they did to his reputation, et cetera, right? So under the new law, we'd probably never find out. He'd still be sitting in jail. This is as bad as it gets, and it passed the Senate 93-7. Luckily, President Obama has threatened to veto it. Let's hope he sticks to that veto threat. They got to get that provision out of this act. It's hideous.